Hello, the internet, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Adventures of Dr. Dropkick. I am your titular host, Dr. Dropkick, and you might be asking yourself, Doc, what's going on? What am I looking at here? And let me tell you something. I've been doing a lot of thinking. I recently got back from a nice vacation. I've been doing a lot of thinking that I want to play more board games. I love playing board games. But the simple problem is, I'm a middle-aged man with middle-aged friends, and finding time to actually get together and have a board gaming night is a challenge sometimes. Because of that, I became a big fan of solo board games, which are absolutely a thing. Games that are designed with one player in mind, where it is you against the game. You're not working with other people, you're not working against other people, it is you trying to beat the game. So I said to myself, I says, Doc, God, you're handsome. What if you played some solo board games for the channel? You want to put a bit more content onto the channel, maybe up things to 3 times a week, 2 streams, and maybe a pre-recorded video. I don't want to do a big stream of me doing board games every week, because I know already there's a lot of content on the channel. It takes up a lot of time. Already there's usually 6 to 7 hours worth of streams in the channel, so I didn't want to throw more stuff at you, and frankly I didn't want to throw more stuff at myself. But these could be nice, short videos of us playing a game. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about what we're looking at here. This is Iron Helm. Iron Helm is probably one of the best solo board games out there, solo dungeon crawlers out there. It's created by Jason Glover over at Grey Gnome Games, and a phenomenal game designer. And I do recommend, I've got a copy of this myself in my collection. I do recommend that you also pick up a copy, because you're going to see it is one of the greatest games. It is brutally difficult, but usually when you screw up, it's because you kind of came into something unprepared. This is available on the Game Crafter. So you're not going to get it overnight from Amazon, but it will definitely arrive, because it's usually custom made for you when you order something from the Game Crafter. And you know what? I'm not going to lie, as a Canadian, sometimes that expense can be a little bit rough to get through. And frankly, the shipping sucks. But this game is worth it, I think. Yes, we are playing it on Tabletop Simulator, because I was looking at setting up cameras and moving microphones and the computer to record in a space where I actually have the space to do it. This is way too much work. So we're just going to do this through Tabletop Simulator. The other thing is, I do want this to become a bit of a regular feature for the channel. Not necessarily every week, but maybe regularly enough, and not just be playing Iron Helm. We're going to play a whole bunch of different games from my collection. The first video of every game is going to be a little bit longer, because of course I'm going to be explaining the rules of the game, as well as an introduction and stuff to it. So be prepared for that. The length of this video is not necessarily going to be indicative of the length of a regular one of these videos. I have had some solo board games that last 6 minutes. Either the dice just landed perfect, or the dice did not. Sometimes games will last a very short period of time. Sometimes they'll last a very long period of time. Hey, that's the nature of the hobby, right? So let's dive in. I am going to sort of walk you through how to play Iron Helm. We are going to play it together. I think it's easiest to sort of show how the game works as we play it. We're going to do some initial setup, talk about our character Moliclan, and then we'll dive into the actual gameplay. So we're going to start over here. This is our character sheet. This is our character card. And there's a lot going on here, but don't worry. I got you, baby. We're going to talk our way through it, okay? This is our hero. The base game comes with 4 heroes, and there are many expansions to this game that added more heroes, more monsters, more of everything. But we're just playing the base game right now. This is my boy Moliclan with his very, very nice mustache and his lovely pelt fur cloak, which I bet is very, very warm and probably full of some kind of bug. You're going to see a whole lot of numbers along the side here for Moliclan. I'm going to quickly talk about what those mean, and then they will make more sense as we go. Moliclan has 16 hit points. I believe that makes him one of the highest, if not the highest, starting character for health, which is good for us. He also has 10 energy. He has a weight limit of 11. He has 1 ration to his name and 3 gold coins. We'll talk about what all that means in a minute. He also starts the game with an axe and a torch, which you'll see down here. We'll talk about those in a moment. And the parry skill, the gentlest of just like, hey, no, get some help, Mr. Blue Man. Very, very gentle hand out there on the sword. So let's talk about his axe. He's got this sick axe. Look at this thing. Despite the art in his picture, it is a primary hand weapon. You can tell that by its pH balance down there in the corner. If I were to buy it, it would cost me 2 gold, and it has a weight of 2 out of Moliclan's possible 11. And I may discard this card to deal 3d6 damage without spending any energy. We'll talk about what that means later. Don't worry. The torch, which is here, we could buy it for 1 gold. It has a weight of 1, so we are at 3 of our total 11 allowed weight. It is an additional item, and AS. I'm not sure what the S stands for, honestly. And I may discard this card to reveal both dungeon cards and then choose which one to resolve. We'll deal with that in a moment. Parry is I've never been a big fan of parry. Parry's a good late game skill. You may attempt to block all your initial damage with your primary weapon. You can just do this for free at the beginning of any combat where you are being attacked by the monster before you have a chance to fight them. I get very scared about doing this when I only have 1 weapon, because if you break your weapon, you're basically fucked. So that is our boy Moliclan. Now Moliclan here, so I've set this up because 1 ration is 10 energy, is 16 health, is 3 gold. Since we're about to go into the dungeon, we can buy some extra stuff with this 3 gold. So give me a moment here. There's a couple things I like to buy from Moliclan here. The Buckler. The Buckler is a fantastic card. You subtract 1 from the initial damage that you suffer. On a single hit of 4 more damage, it breaks. We'll talk about what all that means in a moment, don't you worry. And then the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to spend his last gold to buy some rations. Discard immediately to gain 2 additional rations. We're going to talk about what rations are in a minute. But we now have 3 of them, and I can tell you that you will never have enough rations. Rations are so critical to survival out here in the dungeon. Alright. So we now have the Buckler. Our weight is now... it's offhand. Our weight has now gone up by an additional 1, and that cost me 2 gold. So we're now at 4 weight of a possibility of 11. Moliclan is ready to delve into the dungeon, which is over here. This is the dungeon. Ignore these. These are for expansions. I can't make them go away in Tabletop Simulator. I maybe could, but I don't know. Those are expansion things. We'll deal with all those later. Welcome to the dungeon. In the middle, you just have some stuff if you want to do physical tokens. I just use dice for them. So you can kind of ignore all this section. Various decks for plots, potions, loot, and enemies. We'll deal with all those later. Here's the dungeon map itself. We start in the first floor. And we're going to talk about how we actually win. I suppose I should talk about winning now, probably. What is Moliclan even doing? Why are we here? Great question. Why is Moliclan wandering into a dungeon when he could just have a nice leg of lamb and an ale at home? Moliclan is an adventurer, and he knows that at the bottom of this dungeon lurks a great evil, and that really upsets him. So he's going to go into the dungeon, and by hook or by crook, he's going to try to defeat that evil or be defeated by him. But that thought hasn't crossed his mind, only our minds. He doesn't know about that. Don't tell him that he might not survive. We beat the monster if we make, or we find the boss if we make it to the end of the 5th floor, which is here. Or if we unveil a certain number of plot cards, which will suddenly have the monster know, or the boss notice that we exist. Talk about that in a minute. So this is our map here. This is the morality tracker. The actions that you do throughout the game will either increase your morality, which will have certain effects, or decrease your morality, which will also have certain effects. We'll deal with this more when it comes up. And I know I'm saying that a lot. You got to trust me on this, okay? A lot of these are sort of higher-end nebulous concepts that really tie into specific things happening in the game, which are hard to explain until they happen. In Iron Helm, this is what is called a push your luck style game. This is the dungeon down here, this deck of 16 cards down here. And what you do to start exploring the dungeon, once you've exhausted all 16 cards, you move on to the next floor of the dungeon. You move down to level 2, and then 3, and then so forth. With a push your luck game, you draw 2 cards face down off. Oops, I grabbed the whole deck there. You draw 2 cards face down off the top of the deck, and you choose one of these to resolve. So you say, I'm going to do this card. Ooh, it's an altar. We'll talk about that in a moment. We might choose to resolve this card, and then that's it. That's the end. Both these cards get discarded. We don't know. We don't get to find out what this one is. So this deck is filled with good things, and it is filled with monsters and evil. This might be the greatest thing in the entire world. This might be a card that simply says, hey, you get like 8 pieces of loot. It doesn't exist, but you know, it's an example. We don't know. Many cards will do different things depending on whether or not it's the first card or the second card that you have drawn in a turn. So actually, yeah, here we go. Here's an example, right? We'll shuffle up the deck here. All right, so here's an example. Let's say I didn't want to do the altar. I was like, altars, ugh, I hate that. So we flip this one over. Because it was the second card of the round, we have to do what it says down here. And this is significantly worse than if it was the first time that we drew that card. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes it's better if it's the second card that you flip over. But we may never know if we choose to stay with the altar as a card. I hope that makes sense. So you flip over 2 cards, you pick one of them, or you place down 2 cards, you pick one of them to flip over, you decide whether or not you want to push your luck, whether or not you want to keep that card and do the top result, or whether or not you want to push your luck and risk a far worse result by flipping over the other card and doing the second result. So I'm just going to put this all back together here, and we're going to dive right on into the dungeon. We'll deal with combat and all that stuff when the time comes. Just going to shuffle this. We're going to shuffle our enemies, shuffle the loot, shuffle the potions, and shuffle the plot cards. Let's just dive right in. Start at level 1. Here we go. You have no idea how to play this game yet. All you know is you have Moliclan. He has an axe that says you can do damage to things. Now you see what the torch does, though. Remember, the torch allows us to discard it once to reveal both cards and then choose which one to resolve. And you would resolve the first result in that, I believe. So now you know what that means. Let's grab 2 cards, and we're going to flip over this one right here. It's a skirmish. You draw your weapon and ready for battle. Let's do it. Let's get in. Draw an enemy card and add the dungeon level +2 to their health. All right, let's do some combat. So we're going to grab an enemy here. We'll flip him over. We have a goblin. Goblin's got some stuff on here. He has 2 hit points plus the dungeon level +2. Whoa, that's weird looking perspective there. Plus the dungeon level +2. You'll remember it here. So that goblin is going to have a total of 5 health. 2 + 2 + 1 is 5. There we go. He deals 1 initial damage. We'll talk about that in a minute. He has a loot level of 1. He is weak to ice, and he will give us an extra gold coin when we defeat him. It's tiny little gold coin down here. I don't like that. I wish that was a bit better, but whatever. And we may avoid the conflict by giving him $1. Fuck it, we're not giving the goblin our non-existent dollar. We don't have any dollars anyways. So let's get into a fight. Monsters will always hit you first, unless you have something very specific that tells you that they won't. So, the way that a monster attack works in Iron Helm is you're going to take 2 dice, and you are going to roll them. Yeah. The difference between the 2 rolls, plus the initial damage, or plus their damage, I should say, is how much damage they do. And that only happens the first time, on the first attack, right? Initial attack. Otherwise, it is just the difference, okay? Oh, no, it is always with the initial attack. Sorry, never mind. So this is just their damage. So it is going to be 1, because 5 minus 4 is 1, plus 1 means I will take 2 damage. Now, I do have the shield, which allows me to subtract 1 from initial damage. You'll see it right here. Subtract 1 from initial damage. So we take 1 damage. Nothing to be done about it. But now we get to fight back. Combat works using energy. Right now, Moliclan has 10 energy. And you, as long as you have a weapon, you may spend 1 energy to roll 1 dice up to 3 times. So I might choose to say, okay, I'm going to spend 2 energy, which is actually what we're going to do. We're going to spend 2 energy, and that will allow us to roll 2 dice. And you are just straight up adding these 2 dice together, and that determines how much damage you do. So we got 9. So we did 9 damage to this goblin. That is a very, very dead goblin. If you don't have a weapon, or you don't have any energy, or you simply choose to, you can spend 0 energy to do 1 damage. It's like a punch. If you don't have a weapon, that's all that you can do. So that's why you want to be very careful with the parry skill and the possibility of breaking your weapon. So we did 9 damage to the goblin. Good job, me. We killed him. We're going to set him over here for experience, because there is an experience in this game. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. We get a gold from the goblin, because you remember down here it tells us we get 1 gold. And he has a treasure of 1. So a 1 means that we can either draw a loot card or get a gold, a second gold from him. In this case, we have very little loot, so we're going to draw a loot card. Oh, it's the Cinder Blade. Hell yeah. Costs $5 if we wanted to buy it, which we're not. This goblin just had it with him, but wasn't using it. Maybe he hit me with the wrong side. Maybe he was holding the blade. He's like, this blade's really hot, but this thing at the end is really good for hitting people. It has 2 weight, and it's a primary hand weapon. Attack results of 6. So whenever you roll the 6, deals 7 damage. And so it deals like 1 extra damage. +3 to the sum of your attack rolls versus enemies weak to fire. We are absolutely going to take that. This is probably the 2nd best weapon in the game. So that goblin was just wandering around with like an artifact and had no idea what it was. He didn't figure out that you have to like turn the little knob on the side to get the gas flowing into the blade to then turn it on. So that's good for us. So that's this first room done. We're going to take both these cards. Again, no idea what that other one was. We'll never know. It will always be a mystery. And we just keep going. So we've drawn 2 more. We're going to flip this one over. Oh, the campsite. You have spied a relatively quiet location to set up camp. It will not be long before you attract attention to yourself. Choose one of the following options. We can spend 1 of our ration to gain 3 energy. How many rations do we have? 3? Yeah, oh, that's good. But this is a maximum, so Moliclan cannot go over 10. Search to gain an additional ration, or rest to spend a ration and gain 2 health. You know what? We kind of don't need like any of that, so I'm just going to search. I'm going to get the extra ration. That will come in handy later. This goes. We'll never know what that other card is, but that other card was not a monster trying to kill us. That's what I'm going to say. Ooh, the Mushroom Grove. Wow. So you see, this is one where if you come to it the second time, it's better. You have located a grove of young mushrooms. This can either give you some blurry 1 rations or a blurry 2 ration if it's the second one you found. Well, we're just going to stick here and we're going to grab that extra ration. Again, rations. You can never have too much food. That's why I'm overweight. That's why my doctor says I'm overweight. What we got? An arrow trap. Your curiosity with the ruby-eyed statue comes at a cost. Do we want to flip this over and see what the other one is? No, I think we're going to take the poison token. Poison works that if your poison is ever higher than your current hit points, you just die. You just die. That's all there is to it. You're dead. Whenever you finish a level of a dungeon, there's a number of steps that you do, and that would include increasing your poison if applicable. So that does kind of suck. So let's put this away. There we go. Let's draw some more. We're already like halfway through this dungeon level. Whoop! The labyrinth. Surely your cunning will see you out of this wizard's maze. Discard 1 ration. If you have no rations, lose 3 health. I don't like that. I'm going to push my luck, and I'm going to flip over this card and resolve it instead. It's a skirmish. Shit. You're taken off guard and stumble for your weapon. Draw an enemy card. Add the dungeon level +4 to their health. Oh, God. It's an orc warrior. He is going to have 10 hit points. Oh, no. You may avoid this conflict by spending 2 gold. I don't have 2 gold. This sucks. All right, here we go. So he's got 10 hit points, 5 plus 4 from the skirmish, plus 1 for the dungeon level. He deals 2 damage. He has a treasure value of 1. He is weak to fire, so our Cinder Blade is going to clean him up as long as we survive the initial hit, which we should. Let's see what he does to us. So he's going to deal 4 minus 1 is 3 damage, plus 2 for his damage value here. So that is 5 minus 1 for my buckler, which makes that 4. So that takes us down to 11. However, that will break the buckler. Unless... Oh, you know, we got that parry skill. Let's try it. Let's give the parry skill a shot here. Roll. 5. Hey, we avoid the damage. Good. Great. Okay, that's good. We have avoided the damage. Yay, go Moliclan. All right, sorry, buddy. I've just got to... Hang on. I got one of those, like, barbecue layers. Hang on. Hang on. I got to turn the sword on. Stop. No, I'm not ready. It's like when you're playing GoldenEye with your older brother. Like, I don't have a gun. Stop shooting me. I have to get no shooting until I get a gun. There we go. All right, buddy. So we're going to deal an extra 3 damage to him. He does have 10 hit points, so we are going to use 2 of our energy here. And we are going to do... Ooh, so that's 7, because 6. This has an extra point of damage, right? So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We just stick the sword right into the orc. And turns out orcs being fungus are incredibly flammable, and he is just immediately killed. So we get a gold for that. Whoop, there we go. We are now up to 2 gold, and we get to draw a loot card. What did that guy have on? He had the Iron Helm. Just the Iron Helm on him. Subtract 1 from both initial damage and counter-strike. So that's just minus 1 from... I don't know why they worded it this way. It's minus 1 damage from all enemies. All enemy attacks get minus 1 damage. Yeah, we're going to put that on our noggin. How are we on weight? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still doing okay for weight. Alright, I've put the orc over here so he can be part of our experience pile. We'll talk about that in just a second. Let's dive in deeper. An ambush. You catch your foe by surprise and gain the upper hand. Draw an enemy card and ignore their initial damage. Again, the wording not always great on some of these. I would say that just means you attack first. You skip their initial attack. Add the dungeon level to their health. It's a fish man! Oh no! Oh, it's too horrible to live. Oh, but it's... But we get a ration when we defeat the fishman. Ooh. I hate using 2 energy like this over and over and over again. Do I want to throw my axe at him? It seems like such a waste to throw the axe at him. No, we'll use 2 energy. We'll use up 2 energy. Alright, buddy. I hope you're ready for death. I'm just going to put that guy over there. Whoop! Time to die, fish boy! Oh, 3? That's it. That's all we did. 3 damage. Shit. Run up, stab the fishman. Forgot. We did what the goblin did. We forgot to turn on the blade. Whoa. Oh, shit. Now it's just a sharp, pointy thing. Fishman, not being a fan of that, is going to strike back at us. He's got this, like, spear here. Look at this fucking ugly-ass guy. I'm going to put that there just so you can enjoy that art for a minute. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. At least he knows biblical shame. Alright, so he's going to fight us back here. Whoa! Oh, geez. So he hits us for 4, right? 6 minus 2 is 4. Plus another 2 is 6. So he's hitting us for 6. We subtract 1 for the Iron Helm, so he's hitting us for 5. This is only for initial damage. So the buckler will not break or anything. Like, we can ignore that completely. So he hits us for 5 damage. Because it's not an initial attack, we cannot parry it. There's nothing we can do. We just eat shit on that hit. Oh, he's like, hey, what are you doing? Stabs me with his weird fishy spear. Ugh. Sorry, sir. I was just disgusted by how ugly you are. I'm going to spend an energy and roll 1 die to hit this guy. Show me what we got. Okay. No. Roll. Well, it's a flip. Sorry. Roll the die. Hey, it's a 6. 6. That's actually 7. He is a very, very dead fishman. So he has no gold, so we don't get any gold. We do get a ration for killing him. There we go. And we can't turn rations into energy unless we have a campsite. We're too busy whirlwinding our way through the dungeon, spraying blood everywhere. He does have a loot on him, though. God, please be a healing potion. The lamp. Once per dungeon level, you may reveal... Oh, okay, so it's like a torch, but a permatorch. All right, well, we'll take that. Sure, why not? So now we have 3 dead dudes. Yeah, once per level, you may reveal both dungeon cards and choose one. It is just straight up the torch, but better. So we now have 3 dudes in our graveyard, so we can now level up. We can convert them into experience, which means we get to go into the skills deck here. These are all the different skills. And there are 3 different types of skills. There's mind, brawn, and agility. Now, you'll see down here on Moliclan, right? Moliclan tells you in this bottom corner, he is a brawn character right down here. So we can buy any brawn skill for 3, basically trade in 3 dead foes for a brawn skill, or you can trade in 5 dead foes for a non-brawn skill. I am a real big fan of shield block. You subtract an additional point from the initial damage when you shield, and the buckler can no longer break. That is huge. The berserk is also really good. You can spend 2 health to add another dice into your die roll. I don't think you can stack that. I can't do like I'm going to spend 8 health and roll like 4 extra dice. It's just a one-off thing. And when you whip that axe, you add an additional 5 damage. These 2 are both really good skills. Dual wield is okay, but you have to have a dagger in the second hand, and you lose the benefit of having a shield. So we are going to buy Shield Bash. Just flip that. Oh, no. Hang on. Okay, hang on. I'm just going to... Okay, put those together. Move that over to there. Come on. There we go. And then these friends just go... Oh, hang on. Hang on. It's all right. Fighting with Tabletop Simulator. These guys go up here. There we go. All right, we've leveled up. We killed a fish man. We have literally turned him into food because he's yummy. And we're ready to go on. We got 4 cards left. You know what? Let's use the lamp. Let's use the lamp. So we flip over both cards, and we choose one. I'm going to choose the clearing. Anything can happen in a clearing. Draw a plot card. Let's talk about plot cards. This is a plot card. Neat, huh? It's got some books. Nerds. And a candle. Nerds. A plot card is a thing. An event. It is an event card. It's a community chest card. But the other thing to know about plot cards is this little bit down here. This little eyeball. This tells you that the boss is starting to take notice of you. And plot cards will have between 1 and 3 eyeballs on them. Once you've accumulated 10 eyeballs, you immediately fight the boss. You wrap up whatever's going on that plot card, open the door to the next room, and the boss is like, "Hi, I'm right here." So it's kind of a way to accelerate the game a little bit. The passageway. You notice a strange rock protruding from the wall. You run your hand across it, and suddenly the ground begins to shake. You stumble to the ground as dust fills the air. When you arise, you notice a secret passageway where there was once a wall. Draw another plot card. So this is basically just like a 1 eye. I'm going to put that there. Whoop! The corpse. You trip over the corpse of a fellow adventurer. As you stagger to your feet, you realize the body belongs to a friend from years past. Do we bury the corpse, or do we take the money and run? So if we do this, we lose an energy, but we move up 1 on the morality track, which is here. Currently, we're neutral. Or do we take the money and run? You search the corpse for anything that may aid you and leave the corpse behind. You move down 1, but you get a treasure card. We have, like, no energy. We have 3 energy. We're critically low, so we are going to take the money and run. That gives us 2 eyeballs towards the boss. So we go down 1 on the morality track. Boop. We are now a bad man. But we got a long sword out of it. Oh. See, it's so weird because like this says attack results of 6 deal 7 damage. Die results of 6 deal an extra point of damage. Alright, well it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can carry it in case something goes real bad for us. We'll take it with us. Alright. And we got the last 2 cards in the dungeon. Oh, and that was this use. I'll flip it over. What do we got? An ambush! You catch your foe by surprise and gain the upper hand. Draw an enemy card and ignore their initial damage. Add the dungeon level to their... It's a flying snake. Oh, flying snake. Alright, so we skip his initial damage, so we can ignore that completely. He's got 3 hit points, plus 1 for the dungeon level. He hits for 1 damage, no treasure at all, and he's weak to frost. So let's just stab him with my sword. I'm just going to use 1 energy. Hey, man. Oh, no, that was the flip button again. Gotta remember to stop doing that. 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6. Roll. 2. Fuck. We hit him for 2 damage. Wow, good job, me. Alright, well, he's going to hit us back now. Yeah. Okay. He hits for 1, because 2 minus 1 is 1. Plus an extra 1 is 2. So he hits us for 2. Our Iron Helm will block 1. And I think that's it, because these are both initial damage. So there's nothing we can do about that. We're going to eat that. Alright, we're going to spend... We're not going to spend an energy. We are just going to hit him for 1. I'm really banking on him doing, like, nothing. Alright, now he's going to come back. So we spent no energy to do a free hit for 1 damage. Here we go again. So he hits for 2. Plus 1 is 3. Minus 1 is 2. So he hits us for 2. Nothing we can do about that. And we're going to use our last free energy hit just to kill him. 0 energy for 1 damage. He does nothing. He's useless. He's just experience. What a waste. And there we go. That is the first dungeon level completed. So there's a few things that we need to do. Okay, end of level. Reshuffle the dungeon cards. There we go. Furiously shuffled, and we'll put them back there. Okay. Discard 1 ration and restore a single energy. If you have no rations, then you lose 3 health. Ugh. Okay. For every 2 poison you have, you gain an initial poison. We only have 1. We need to advance this to level 2. Boop. And then we draw and resolve a plot card. The Shrine. In the clearing, you find a towering shrine covered in vegetation. You are overwhelmed by a sense of power, just as a gentle breeze rushes past you. Gain blessings tokens, which we'll talk about later, equal to your position on the morality track. Oh, so we gain nothing. We gain nothing, but it is worth 3 eyes, so we have 5 eyes towards 10 in finding the boss. All right. Let's go deeper. Level 2. Here we go. 2 cards. Skirmish. I'm going to push my luck. Oh, we have this back now. I'm going to use the torch. I'm going to discard the torch. This is a trapping, right? Yeah. I'm going to discard the torch to flip that. Ooh. Well, we'll pick the ambush, right? Because we take the top one. So you catch your foe by surprise and gain the upper hand. Draw an enemy card and ignore their initial damage. Add the dungeon health or the dungeon level to their health. Another one of these fucking flying snakes. God damn it. Now he's got an extra hit point because we're at level 5. Let's spend 1 energy. So annoying. To roll a die. Whee! God damn it. Fucking shit. Alright, fine. Fine, we do 1 damage to you. Now, if the monster ever rolls a double, they considered to have missed you completely. No damage is resolved. So that's kind of what we want to happen here, baby. Come on, please. Please. No. Okay, so 2 plus 1 is 3 damage. Minus 1 is 2 damage. Uh-oh. We're looking a little bit rough out here. I'm going to spend another energy here. Come on, baby. Fucking god damn it. Son of a bitch. Okay, fine. Fine. He's at 3 health. He's going to bite us back now. He could kill us. This could be the end. 3 plus 1 is 4. Had to think about that for a minute. Minus 1 for the Iron Helm is 3. We have 2 hit points. We're going to use our last energy. There's no way to run. You cannot flee from combat. All right, baby. Please, please, please. Oh, God, thank you. Okay. Moliclan's suddenly like, oh, shit, I should deal with this. We still have our axe. We can do one-time hit a 3d6 with that by discarding it. And the flying snake has shit all fuck for ass, too. He's got no loot on him. Alright. Okay, whoop. Oh, clearing. Anything can happen in a clearing. Yeah, alright, we'll take that. Oh, the inn. Oh! You smell roasting meat and hear the sounds of laughter and clanking dishes. Of all places to find a secret tavern. You enter the small door and are met with friendly gazes, just covered in blood. Just like, oh my god. Oh, jeez. Oh, everything hurts. Alright, so we can either gamble or eat and rest by the fire. I think we just need a good nap. So we're going to pay 1 gold because we have 2. So we're going to pay 1 of that to gain 2 health and 1 energy once only. So there's that. Our energy back. We have the 2 health there. We have another 2 eyes towards the boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we'll never know what this other room was. Yep. Another ambush. I'm going to use the lamp. We're in a kind of desperate situation. Oh, it's the altar. Yeah, alright, we're going to go to the altar. Sometimes sanctuary is found in the least expected place. You drop at the altar and play for either a blessing token, gain 1 blessing token, or healing to discard d6 minus d6 poison tokens. Well, we only have 1. I'm not worried about the poison tokens. Well, you only have 4 hit points. That could be a problem. The blessing tokens are these. On the back of the blessing tokens are either like +1 energy, -1 poison, or +1 health. And when you go to fight the final boss, before you fight the final boss, you flip over all your blessing tokens and you gain whatever it shows you there. You can also discard a blessing token at any time to re-roll any dice. So I am going to take that blessing token. Boop. Because that might just save us in a combat. Alright, what do we got here? Whoa, it's a skirmish. Oh, god damn it. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to push my luck. It's the merchant! Hey, buddy! Deep in the dungeon seems like a strange place to shut up shop. But who are you to question his sanity? You may make a purchase from the merchant. Buy. Draw loot and potion cards based on the dungeon level. So we're going to draw 2 loot and 1 potion card. Whoop, the Warhammer. I mean, we only have $1. And the potion. Oh, a health potion. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. And the dagger if we ever want to do dual handing. So we can sell items to him for 1 gold each. Well, I'm going to... The only thing I really want is this. Alright, because +3 to the sum of your attack roll against undead. Yeah, it's alright. You may re-roll a die result of 6 when the dagger is used as a primary weapon. I don't really... There's not a lot of opportunities you'd want to re-roll a 6. So we are absolutely... We're going to spend our last gold. We are going to buy and immediately drink this health potion. To restore 4 hit points. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Look at him. He's like, yeah, I've got a stick and 2 gold and 1 eye. I have 100% more gold than I have eyes. He's probably got that sick merchant music, merchant money from Crypto the Necrodancer, too. That and, like, Splunky. Best merchant musics in the game. Unless you count the Wii Shop theme as merchant music. A skirmish. Alright. I don't want to push my luck on this. Draw an enemy card, add the dungeon level +2. So we're going to be adding 4 because we're on dungeon level 2. Oh, boy howdy. It's the cave troll. He's got 12 hit points because 8 + 4. Heals 4 damage on the hit. May avoid the contact. I don't have 3 gold. He's a treasure level 2. So when we kill him, we get the gold down here, plus a loot, plus a potion. So the 2 means you get an extra potion. He is weak to fire. So as long as we can survive his initial attack, oh wow, we've scored an achievement. I'm very happy about that, I think. Yeah, so as long as we can defeat him, we'll get the loot and a potion, and our Cinder Blade's going to deal extra damage to him. So I feel good. We just have to survive his like initial attack here, which we are going to be subtracting quite a bit from, and we have the parry. So I feel good. Let's see what we get here. So that's 3. He's going to hit us for 7, 6, 5, 4 damage. Now, if I roll a 1, we lose the Cinder Blade. So do I want to take the 4 damage, or do I want to risk the Cinder Blade? We could toss the Blessing token if necessary. So I'm going to try to parry this here. Failed parry. Alright, because that is 2, 3, 4. We just fail. So our gentle push, like, no. But the troll does not care for our gentle please. Our polite please. So he hits us for, what was it? It was 4 damage. So there we go. Alright, we're going to fight back. I'm going to spend the only energy I have. Ah, no, keep the energy. Keep the energy. Even though the Cinder Blade will help, we are going to throw the axe at him. We're doing it. We're throwing that axe. So this just deals 3d6 damage without spending any energy. Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah, that is a dead troll. That is, what, 11, 14 damage? Goodbye. So you're gonna go over here. Oh, we could turn him into a skill, but the other bronze skill. There's the dual wielding, but you need the dagger. We'll deal with that in a minute. We get a gold for our troubles. So there's our 1 gold. We get a loot and a potion. Oh, an antidote. You may just drink that to gain 3 hit or restore 3 poison. In the explorer's map, lose 1 less ration when lost in the dungeon or the labyrinth. Okay, so God, we gotta count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are at maximum weight for our loot right now. Let me have a look at these skills real quick. Is there anything worth? Berserk, spend 2 health to add an additional die to your die roll. We've thrown the axe, so we're not going to need to think about that. That just gives us an extra die roll for 2 health. But we have oh so little health. We have 4 health right now. I think I want to try to save it and try to maybe get conceal, where you can attempt to avoid an ambush. Alchemy is really good. You just get 2 free potions when you do that. Convert energy into health. Yeah, we're gonna hold on because we need 5 to upgrade to a non-core level skill. An arrow trap. Oh, we gain a poison. Okay, that's all right. We can. We only have 4 hit points here. If we take 2 damage, we equal our poison and we die. I'm going to drink this antidote now. Okay. Now we're going to get rid of that poison. We get rid of 3 poison with the antidote. Whoop. Oh, it's the labyrinth. Fuck. Well, we would lose 1 less ration in the labyrinth. Discard 1 ration. If you have no rations, lose 3 health. Lose 1 less ration. So we just resolved that. Great. Cool. Yeah. 1 less. Discard 1. Cool. Oh, we had the labyrinth, but we also had a map. Get out of here. Alright, last room of level 2. Oh, it's the campsite. Oh, thank God. Oh. We need the energy so badly. Okay, cook to lose a ration. We gain 3 energy. Kind of wish we gained some health out of that, but no dice. Alright, so start of a new level. We shuffle those bad boys up. We eat a ration. We gain a poison for every 2 poison, but we have none, so we don't need to worry about that. These are all shuffled. And then we move to level 3 on the map. Bing! And we drag a plot card up. The Pigman. You are drawn to the sounds of a whimpering animal. You are amazed to find a very small, pig-like creature with a human likeness caught in a snare trap. Do we release the pigman? He looks confused when we release. He pauses for a moment and then takes off on 2 feet. And we move up on the morality. Or do we carve up the pigman? But we would gain 3 energy. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Moliclan is a very, very bad man who is in desperate need of energy right now. Sorry, my dude. That's mostly solved our energy woes, though. Oh, hey, I think we'll have this back. So we have, what is this, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 out of 10 towards the boss. We're now on level 3. In we go. Up. It's a skirmish. I'm going to push my luck. It's a worse skirmish. Shit. Fuck. Okay. Draw an enemy, add the dungeon level, and 4 health. Plus 4. Oh, it's a skinkling. Oh, goody. Okay. So 1 plus 4 plus the dungeon level, so that's 8 hit points. There's 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 3 is the dungeon level is 8. He does no initial damage. He's got a bunch of loot. He's got a coin and a loot item, and he's weak to fire. But when he hits, you gain a poison token. And he will be doing the initial attack. Miss, miss, miss. Fuck. 4. That's just it. Just 4, because he has 0. 4. 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to let that go through, because I don't want to lose the Cinder Blade. Now, I'm going to hit him back. He is weak to fire, as you'll see here in this little yellow one there. He's weak to fire. And the Cinder Blade does an extra 3 damage to enemies weak of fire. So I'm going to spend 1 energy. Please. Oh, please. Oh, please. 4 plus 3. 7. He's got 1 hit point left. God damn it. Alright. It's his attack back. Yep. Please miss. Please miss. Nope. 2 minus 1 is 1. So he will hit me. Oh, I think that's it. I think we're dead. Hang on. 2 there, but we gain a poison. Does it have to be greater than... If poison is ever equal to or greater than... Hang on, we're checking the book. Honestly, not a very well written rulebook. It took me a long time to kind of figure out how it all worked, because it uses such weird language like a counter attack and things like that. Equipping item, poison. You gain poison. If the number of poison tokens you have is ever equal to or greater than your current health, you die immediately and the game is over. There is nothing we can do because it's not initial damage, so the buckler doesn't matter. The shield block does not matter. We cannot parry it because I should have tried to parry that initial damage. The only thing subtracting damage was this. He did 2. We knock that down to 1. There is nothing we can do. We drop from 3 health to 2 health, which equals the number of poison we have, because we also gain a poison. Killed by this guy. Killed by this fucking guy right here. Look at him. Look at him mocking me. Whoa. Did not mean to do that. Anyways, everybody. Hey, that's Iron Helm. Moliclan, unfortunately, has been defeated. There's nothing to be done about that. I still had a great time. I really love this game. You can see how the push your luck mechanic is very, very cool. We never made it to a boss. This will happen in Iron Helm. It can be a very unforgiving game. We probably, knowing what I know now at that campsite, I would have done the health instead, knowing that the pigman was going to be the plot that came up. So we suddenly had all of our energy problems solved, but we kind of tipped the scale too far and didn't think about my health versus poison. So that's that, my friend. That's Iron Helms. I hope you had a really, really good time. There are definitely going to be more Iron Helm in the future. We have 4 characters here. We have Phaon, Sortab, and Zola, and they're all very, very cool. Zola's probably the hardest one, I think, to play with. But she has such a low weight allowance. But yeah, that's Iron Helm. There's definitely going to be more of this. And again, these videos are not going to be as long, although they might be if we're doing really, really well in the dungeon. But now that I've kind of explained the game, future videos are going to be just gameplay. We're not really going to be going over rules unless something really, really specific comes up. So everybody, thanks for coming out. I hope you have a really great day. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this format. If you think this is a good addition to the channel or a bad addition to the channel. If there are games that you would like to see me play. Typically, I either want to be able to buy the game digitally if I don't own it, or I'm okay using Tabletop Simulator if I do own it, or if the author has chosen to put their game up on TTS. Because I know that's always a little bit copyright weirdness in there. And definitely go check out the Game Crafter. I will put a link in the description. At least I will try to remember to put a link in the description below to this fine product on Game Crafter so that you can buy a copy of it yourself. Everybody have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you later.